Hello everybody and welcome back to The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky. Wish there was a shorter name for that, but there isn't. So last time we left off, we had a really long intro to do with, and now we can finally do stuff. We gotta go meet with Sherazard. There you two are. Good morning, Estelle. Good morning, Joshua. Right, I was gonna let you guys read some of this. Sometimes I'll read it, sometimes I won't, but you know, whatever. Morning, I know. Good morning. Morning, everybody. Shara here already? Waiting for us upstairs. Wow, delicious. Thanks. We'll do our best. Look, guild postings everywhere. Oh, it's that chick. The star and the hanged man. The hermit and the magician. The last of all, inversion through the wheel of fortune. This is a difficult combination. How should I interpret this? Good morning, Shara. Well, if it isn't Estelle and Joshua, this is a rare occasion for both of you to show up so early. Since it's my last day of training, I figured why not? I'm ready to get this show on the road and become a bracer. I bet you are. High-spirited attitude of yours. Hold up. I hope you're ready. I can feel the enthusiasm dropping already. Quiet, you! Every time I teach you something, you somehow manage to forget it. This training is my way of trying to keep some of that information in your head, just instead of letting it dribble out of your ears like it usually does. What? Joshua? Shara's picking on me. Don't worry, Shara. While Estelle may hate studying and rarely ever does her homework, acts rashly, is overly naive, and has a tendency to stick her nose into everything, her instincts are sharp, so I'm sure she'll pick up on how to use an ornament with some practice, eventually, probably. I guess there's not much I can do now except hope for the best. Hold on a second, Joshua. Somehow I get the feeling that you weren't standing up for me. Well, that's odd. I'm positive I described all your best traits accurately. Whatever. By the way, Shara, what were you trying to predict with your tarot cards? Your face was really intent. Oh, this? I was just trying to get a vague reading on what might happen in the near future. Unfortunately, I don't seem to have been in the right mindset to interpret the cards correctly. You couldn't read the cards? Now that's surprising to hear. Actually, the more profound the meaning of the cards, the more difficult they become to interpret. That's not important now. I think it's time to start your final training. I can words. I'll give you a brief rundown of all the information we've covered in the previous training. This is a minimal level of knowledge that bracers should have in order to function effectively. And Estelle, make sure you pay especially close attention to what I'm going to say, because you're a doofus. Yeah. What would you like to know about? About orbaments. Orbaments are mechanical devices which operate by using what is known as orbital energy. A variety of effects can be produced depending on the structure and type of quartz or process septium installed. Although it's only been about 50 years since their invention, these devices play an integral role in all facets of life, from lights, heaters, everyday products to weapons, magic, and even airships. In connection, the technology reform is commonly known as the orbital revolution. What about the bracers? Bracers are investigative and combat specialists who work to protect civilians and maintain the stability of their respective regions. This one is exterminating measures, preventing crime, lost items, and escorting people. Bracer Guild, branches across the continent, affairs of the bracers in each region. Let's see, the Bracer Guild. The Bracer Guild is a worldwide organization of bracers established 50 years ago. Oh, surprisingly, it's around the time the orbits were created. Aside from the Liberal Kingdom, there are numerous other branches for peace and stability within their areas. Due to this international and neutral nature, it often mediates between disputing powers, and it even played a role in ending the 100 Days War. However, as a consequence of the various roles of the Bracer Guild it is required to fulfill, it is often short-handed. Liberal Kingdom. The Kingdom of Liberal, in which we live, sits in the western half of the Zemurian continent and abounds with nature and deep-rooted traditions. Liberal is proud to be one of the leading producers of septium in the continent, and this is known for its high level of technology used to develop orbaments. Orbament technology was also a key pillar to support for Liberal in the protecting its independence as it contended with neighboring nations. 10 years ago, when Liberal was invaded by the Erebonian Empire, it was the use of the orbital power airships that saved the kingdom from defeat. Consequently, even now, our relationship with the Empire is somewhat sensitive, but thanks to the Queen's political finesse, Liberal enjoys peace. That's all. That's literally all you have to teach me right now. Let's see. Since we've got a mountain of stuff to do today, I'll let you off the hook this time with a condensed review. I'm going to speed things up now and move on to the practical portion of your training. Shara, how is today's practical training any different from the training we've done before? Since it's practical, that means you will be experiencing things firsthand. Therefore, I'm going to have the both of you run through everything as if it were a real bracer job. So what you're saying is there won't be any studying at a desk involved. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. This time you'll have to go out and make physical effort to accomplish your task. I'll make sure you work up a sweat, so I hope you're ready. Yes! That's seriously just what the doctor ordered. La 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 la. I don't know what I was gonna do if I had to sit another day with my tush parked at a desk. I guess I just got worried for nothing. Well, suddenly you're bright and cheerful, so let's just hope that smile on your face lasts until the end of today's training. Okay, let's get cracking on your first objective, shall we? Let's have it. Your first objective will be to confirm the details of the job you will be performing. But before that, there's something we need to give the both of you. I know. Are you ready? Yes, they are. All right, you two, go get one for each of yourselves. Go one of what? These are very that's Sherazard's voice. These are very important, so make sure not to lose them. Bracer notebook. Bracer notebooks serve as the official way to record the status of your current jobs. Also, anything you may hear or anything that you may find and where, these kinds of trivial things can often become clues. No matter how insignificant something may seem, always write it down. Understood. Crap. Sounds like it's going to be a pain. Oh? Please tell me it was my ears playing tricks on me, because I swear I only got one response. I'm sure there were two. Keeping an accurate account of events is an important duty for all bracers. So get with the program and start and stop trying to make this out to be more than it really is, Estelle. Okay, I got it. Make sure you do. Alright, let's begin. Look over by the door. You can see there's a bulletin board standing there. First, I want you to go and check the job description posted there. When the bulletin is posted, an exclamation mark will appear at the button with things. Just like in a job, blah blah, see blah blue, see blah blah blah. Oh, I'll get 500 Mira. Details direct request. This training will involve searching the sewers beneath Roulette and bringing back the contents of a chest. Alright, details of the job confirmed on the bulletin board and other important events will automatically be recorded in your Bracer notebook. The Bracer notebook is shortcut button for the configuration button, but it can also be accessed by configuring the Bracer book shortcut button in the configuration. Okay, very good. It looks like you were able to see that what was posted without any trouble. Checking the bulletin board is one of the most basic functions a Bracer performs on their job. Sorry, I thought I was going to sneeze there. Checking regularly, blah blah, important duty for the Bracers. Man, let's talk about duties starting to grip my soil. Sure, there are a lot of rules to follow, but there's an equal level of responsibility in the jobs themselves. I think being a Bracer calls for much more than just someone with a half-hearted attitude. I guess you're right. Guess. I'll just have to be more motivated. I had a change of heart, have we? You betcha. Well, before all the motivation sneaks off somewhere, let's get to the and your next task, we'll be doing this time, and across the street to Mr. Melder's Orbital Factory and learning about how to use its services. He has graciously taken time out of his work schedule to explain things. So let's be sure to give the best behavior, blah blah blah, okay? Wow, you should have had me come here yourself, so I knew where it was. Here is where you will learn how to use Orbital Factory services. An Orbital Factory can be at an Orbital Factory, you can modify your orbits and synthesize support cords in order to use orbital arts. Arts have a wide range of effects if mastered can be extremely helpful. The Bracer business is a pretty risky occupation, blah blah, long-standing relationship with Orbital Factories. I can explain. I'll leave the technical details to the expert. So, Mr. Melders, if you wouldn't mind taking it from here. No problem. Leave everything to me. So, what is that you'd like to know about? Mechanical devices with an array of effects. Different types of stuff. By definition, it means that lights, airships, engines, and so on are also types of orbits. However, the ones that we're discussing today are battle orbits. The physical properties of possible use of magic. Magic is always nice, since each orbit is adjusted, differ for each owner. Structures for is adjusted to match the owner's personal aptitude. The structures for these devices also differ for each owner. Simply put, the shape of the fixed elemental slots and lines in which connect them vary. At any rate, that's the layman's explanation. In order to install quartz, you must first have an open slot. By default, the central slot is open, but the other slots must be opened at an Orbital Factory like this. It will take a fair amount of sepith too. EP, which is needed for magic, is also, will also see a max increase according to the number of open slots. I recommend opening them all as soon as possible. So, what is it you would like to know about Orbital Arts? So we put it's magic. Orbital Arts are magic skills. In other words, a number of peculiar effects can be produced. Since Orbital Arts can be a mouthful and is referred to as arts. Probably ought to have called them that from the get-go. Some types of arts, but in order to be able to use them, the corresponding quartz must be first synthesized to the orbital factory. Orbits are also set up, blah blah. You're writing on the elemental value in combination of installed quartz. Basically, if you want to use water ores, you have to install quartz with water elemental value. In reality, orbits are much more complex than what I have described, but I think this information should suffice for now. There's what I'd like to know about quartz. Quartz are circuits. Quartz have a vast number of effects, raising those abilities, while simultaneously making it possible for them to use arts. Let's see. It's been installed into a slot. There are also fixed slots in which only a certain type of elemental quartz can be installed. This being the case, when you synthesize new quartz or mint, blah blah. So what is it you would like to know about? Sepith. Sepith are fragments of septium, which are dropped by monsters. Okay, they are divided into 7 types: earth, water, fire, wind, time, space, and mirage. Wow, we get to manipulate time and space. Sepith can be exchanged for mirror almost anywhere, but at the orbital factory it can be used to synthesize quartz and to open orbment slots in which to install synthesized quartz. So, would like to know about. No, that's it. Okay. Looks like Mr. Melder has answered all your questions. And both of you try and use the services here. For that, you're going to need some Sepith. Receive several of each type of elemental Sepith. Well, with that amount, you two should be able to synthesize a few quartz. Now I want you to begin by first making an elemental quartz that will work with each of your particular orbits. In your case, Estelle, any elemental quartz is okay, but for you, Joshua, it has to be a time elemental quartz. Corpse? Normally at the shop you wouldn't get to exchange Sepith for mirror, but this time for training you're not able to use this service. Blah 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 blah. Oh, I gotta talk to Freddy. Modify and trade quartz. Let's see. Yes. Let's see. Increases my speed. I love speed. Agility, strength, and defense. Strength and defense is definitely for her. No, I didn't mean to actually talk. No, stop hitting the wrong button. Modify a trade slot. Estelle. Okay, you. They won't let me. Alright, looks like you were able to synthesize 1. Next, want to increase arts you can use. Now install the quartz. You can use both, so that you can use both recovery and attack arts. What? Orbit, use the Orbit screen, utilized by selecting the Orbit tab in the main menu. Whoops. This one, Orbit. Let's see, this one. Oh, it lowers her defense. That sucks a little bit. Alright. Action. There we go. Both recovery and attack arts. Okay. Sure. Make sure that the recovery and attack arts are divided up between them. You can figure this out by looking at the arts in the bracer book. Figure out which quartz you need to install. If you're lacking the necessary quartz, you can synthesize them at the order. Okay. So I need to go here and go look for arts. Right? Skills. Is this it? Skills. Nope. Nope. Okay. Attack and a heal, right? Attack and a support. So I need to do one support Earth Guard. Okay. Modify and trade. Quartz. Earth. Yes. Let's just make one of each that we can. Okay. So if I go, whoops, up here, switch it to this one, should be fine, right? Look at you. What? I guess I'm not looking at arts and quartz charts in your bracer notebooks in order to figure out which quartz you need to install. I'm so confused. Okay. So if I go, whoops, quartz 1. Whoops. I keep doing that. So airstrike, single, soul blur, single. Clock up is also support though. I got it. I did it. It's now install quartz into your orbit so that you can use both recovery and attack arts. Sure that recovery. Okay, so recovery may not be support. Phooey, man. Attack, attack, attack. All the attacks. Okay, so I need to equip the one water on her instead of this. Okay. There we go. Jeez. That shouldn't have been so hard to understand. Alright, looks like you got both recovery and attack art set up. If you balance your arts out between each other like you've done here, it should make dealing with monsters much easier. Additionally, your bracer notebooks contain information on which quartz allow you to use which arts. If you'd like to see more powerful arts, check the arts and quartz charts in your bracer notebooks. Alright, your training here is almost finished. First of all, I'm going to have one of you open a new slot of your orbits. The more slots you have available to you, the broader range of choices you'll have. Since EP, which is consumed by using arts, can have its max value increased by opening up slots, it would be a good idea to open them all early on. Now I want you to use Sepith and open up a slot on each of your orbits. Go ahead and open the slots. I'm going to go to 30 minutes on this episode just because the tutorial has been taking a while. Modify slot Estelle. Let's open this one. Should I? Yeah. Boom. Alright. I see you've managed to open one of your orbit slots. Estelle, since your central slot is not limited to a particular element, you are free to install any type of quartz you like. This concludes your training here at the Orbital Factory. Now it's time to move on to onto what you've both been waiting for, the qualification test. Pardon? Did you just say test? You can't honestly tell me that you forgot about the test again, can you? Didn't I remind you just this morning? Now that you mention it, I vaguely remember some sort of talk along those lines at the breakfast table. Sometimes I fear for the future of the Bracer Guild and humanity. Yeah, well, no sense in worrying about that now. Let's head over to the testing area. You mean, like, now? I don't know if I'm ready for... How about a little less yapping and a little more walking? Ha! Just dragging her off. Joshua, help me! Mr. Melders, Freddy, thank you for all your help. Don't mention it, and good luck with that test of yours. We'll be rooting for you. I'm going to remember that you left me high and dry like this, Joshua. All your training has finally come down to this. Your qualification test will begin here. I expect to see you both use what you've learned up to this point. Understood. Da-da-da-da-da-da. What's wrong, Estelle? Shara? What now? I was kind of wondering, but, is there not going to be a paper test or something? Did Cassius drop you on your head as a child or something? You just read, what it said on the bulletin board not that long ago, right? Yeah, and I even made you jot down what you read in your Bracer notebooks. Unless you forgot that, too. I'm pretty sure the job listing mentioned searching for and retrieving an item from the sewers. Ringing any bells yet? What a relief. Oh, divine Idios, I give thanks to thee for thy infinite grace in bestowing upon us such wonderful gifts as sewers. So what you're really saying is you thought it was a paper test. No wonder why you're acting all crazy back at the orbital factory. I can already feel the nostalgia. All those horrible days stuck in the classroom are starting to feel like grand memories indeed. I'm really starting to wonder if we're even able to graduate at all. What's wrong with you? Why do you have to go and say something like that? When I'm trying to reminisce about positive things. Grand positive things. Go away. Alright, enough jabbering, you two. Suppose the test... this is supposed to be a test, so how about both of you try and at least look a little anxious. So, just so you know though, if you did happen to flunk the test, you don't even want to imagine the kind of homework I have in store for you, both of you. We'll be fine. Just tell us what to do and let us loose. Well, if you're so confident about proving that you're not just blowing hot air with results, I can't read today. I just can't. It's messed up. Anyway, as you both saw the bulletin board, this test was such as sewers, contents of this chest has been placed with something within that area. The layout of the sewer is extremely simple, so you don't need to worry about getting lost either. Everything are real, living, breathing monsters in there. Whew. So if you get careless and let down your guard, you will be sorry. Also, let me give you this before I forget. Received Tier Bomb. Received Monster Guide. What's this book for? It's called a Monster Guide, and it's used to record information about monsters and other opponents you meet. Whenever you figure out an enemy's attributes, you should make an immediate note of it in there. Sounds pretty straightforward to me. He who controls the flow of information controls the tide of battle, right? That's exactly what I'm saying. You've really got a good head on your shoulders, Joshua. That's some pretty useful advice. Thanks for the tip, Shara. We'll put it to good use. Alrighty then, let's get pumped and knock out the test. Don't forget though, this is an exam. We should make sure we treat it as such. Yeah! Finally, I get to do stuff. In the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. Let's go. Oh, right. Orbits. No, not. Stop doing things. There we go. Boom. I want this on there. Alright. Now let me save it. Yes. Alright. That's all the time I have for this episode. This has been Goldor, aka Talos, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.